You forget a word. You forget a name. You walk into a room and have no idea why you're standing there. And in that moment, just for a second, a quiet voice in your head whispers, "Is this dementia?" If you've had that thought, you're not alone. Millions of people over 65 have it every single week. But here's what I need you to hear. Most of the time, it's not. And today I'm going to show you exactly why. Welcome to Silver Wellness. If you're new here, this is a place for honest, calm health information. No fear, no gimmicks, just the truth. If that sounds good, the subscribe button is right below. Now, there are 6 memory gaps that happen to almost everyone after 65. They feel alarming. They feel like something is wrong. But they are a normal part of how your brain changes with age, and they are not the same thing as dementia. Let me walk you through each one, so the next time it happens, you can take a breath instead of panicking. Gap number 1, forgetting someone's name mid-conversation. You're talking to someone you've known for years. You go to introduce them, and the name is just gone, completely gone. You can picture their face, you know where they live, you remember conversations you've had with them, but the name has vanished. This is one of the most common memory changes after 65, and it has a name. It's called retrieval failure. The memory is still there. Your brain hasn't lost it. It's just having trouble pulling it up on demand. Think of it like a filing cabinet where someone moved the label, but the document is still in the drawer. It usually comes back later, often when you've stopped trying. This happens because the connection between a person's face and their name is one of the weakest types of memory links your brain makes. Names are arbitrary. They don't carry meaning the way a story or a feeling does. So they're the first thing your brain has trouble retrieving as processing speed naturally slows down. It's annoying, but it's not dangerous. Gap number 2, walking into a room and forgetting why. You stand up from the couch. You walk to the kitchen. And the moment you step through the doorway, nothing. Why am I here? What was I going to get? This one actually has fascinating research behind it. Scientists call it the doorway effect. Studies have shown that the physical act of walking through a doorway causes your brain to file away the previous context and prepare for a new one. It's not a malfunction. It's your brain doing exactly what it's designed to do. It's creating a fresh mental workspace for the new room. It happens to people of all ages, by the way. But we notice it more after 65 because we're watching ourselves more carefully. We're looking for signs. And when it happens, it feels like proof of something it isn't. Gap number 3, losing everyday objects. Keys, glasses, the phone you were holding 30 seconds ago. You put it down somewhere and now it's gone. This is almost always an attention issue, not a memory issue. When you set your keys down, your brain was focused on something else. What you were about to cook, a conversation, a thought. It never recorded where the keys went because it was never paying attention in the first place. You can't forget something you never stored. And here's the thing. This kind of everyday forgetfulness feels scary because we attach it to the bigger fear. We connect it to something darker. But the fear itself is usually much bigger than the problem. And there's one particular gap, the last one I'll share, that causes more unnecessary terror than all the others combined. We'll get there. Gap number 4. The word is right on the tip of your tongue. You're telling a story. You know exactly what you want to say. And the word, the one perfect word, is hovering just out of reach. You can feel it. You can almost taste it. But it won't land. This is called the tip of the tongue phenomenon, and it is one of the most studied memory experiences in cognitive science. It happens because your brain retrieves meaning faster than it retrieves the specific word. You know the concept, you know the shape of the idea, but the label hasn't arrived yet. After 65, this happens more often because your brain's word retrieval speed naturally slows down. It's not losing words. It's taking a little longer to find them. The word almost always comes to you eventually, usually minutes or hours later when your brain quietly finishes the search in the background. That's a healthy brain, doing exactly what it should. And this connects to something important about gap number 6, the one people fear the most. It's coming. Stay with me. Gap number 5. Forgetting what you just read. You read a page of a book. You get to the bottom and realize you have no idea what you just read. You have to go back and start again. This is almost never a memory problem. It's a focus problem, and it's made enormously worse by two things: stress and poor sleep. When your mind is preoccupied with worry, your brain simply doesn't encode what your eyes are seeing. The information passes through without being recorded. If this is happening to you a lot, the question isn't whether your memory is failing. It's whether you're getting enough quality sleep and whether you're carrying too much stress. Address those two things, and most people find their reading focus comes right back. Your brain isn't broken. It's distracted. And now, gap number 6. This is the one that frightens people the most. It's the reason many people first start Googling dementia symptoms. And I want to talk about it carefully, because the fear it creates is almost always worse than the reality. Replaying conversations and doubting your own memory. Someone tells you they mentioned something last week. You have absolutely no memory of it. They insist it happened. You can't find it anywhere in your mind. And suddenly you're thinking, what else have I forgotten? What else is missing? Am I losing my grip on reality? This is deeply unsettling. But in the vast majority of cases, what's actually happening is that the other person mentioned it casually, in passing, while you were focused on something else, and your brain simply didn't flag it as important enough to store. It's the same mechanism as losing your keys. It wasn't recorded because your attention was elsewhere. The reason this one is so frightening is that it involves another person's memory contradicting yours. And that triggers a primal fear. The fear that you can't trust your own mind. But a healthy brain does not record every passing comment. It would be overwhelmed if it did. Selective memory is a feature, not a failure. Now, I do want to say something important. There are times when memory changes are worth a conversation with your doctor. If you're forgetting recent events entirely, not a name or a word, but whole conversations, whole outings, things that happened yesterday, that's different. If you're getting lost in familiar places, if you're struggling to follow steps in tasks you've done your whole life, cooking a recipe you know by heart, managing your bills, following the plot of a show. If the people closest to you are noticing changes before you are, these are the patterns worth discussing with your doctor. Not because they always mean something serious, but because early conversation is always better than late worry. But here's the honest truth about your brain after 65. It is not the same brain you had at 30. It is slower to retrieve names. It is more selective about what it stores. It takes a little longer to find the right word. But it is also a brain that has 65 years of knowledge, pattern recognition, and wisdom stored inside it. The raw speed goes down, but the depth goes up. And that trade-off is completely normal. You are not losing your mind. In most cases, you are simply noticing your mind working differently, and then frightening yourself with the worst possible explanation. Everything in this video is general wellness information. If you have real concerns about your memory, please talk to your doctor. There is absolutely no shame in that conversation. Your doctor has heard it 1,000 times, and most of the time, the answer is reassuring. And if this video helped ease your mind even a little, I'd love it if you shared it with someone who might need to hear it too. Maybe someone in your family, or a friend who's been quietly worrying. Sometimes the most caring thing you can do is send a video that says, "You're okay. You're normal. You're not alone. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next one. Take good care of yourself."